Hello everyone, Riz here. I wanted to create this video today here for you, specifically for those of you that are getting started in this journey that is trading and investing. If you're completely new, completely fresh, it can be quite a bit daunting and a bit overwhelming, right? So what I've decided to do is create, I would say more of a tutorial or sort of a starting guide for you guys to not only get your trading platform set up with TradingView, but also give you a few insights on the process of getting your brokerage account opened up. Now, you need a brokerage account to place trades. Simple, period. No matter what country you're in, you need to have a brokerage account in place that you have access to that has funds in it so that you can place trades. And of course, depending on the country you're in, their process is going to vary, but overall it's pretty similar in terms of identification requirements, and I'll walk you guys through some of that and I'll also give you a couple resources that I personally look at and that you too can keep track of and monitor, that are great for real-time updates on news, current events, political and global events that not only have to do with the markets, but the broader global economy as a whole. So let's get right into it. I have here on my screen the TradingView platform, the chart. So when you first create your account, you're going to be on the home page. What you want to do is go to the charts area, right? And once you select a chart, you can create a new chart. What I've done here is created a completely new, fresh chart with nothing on it besides the price. And it has the volume there as well. Keep in mind, yours is going to look a little bit different to mine. I've gone ahead and specifically adjusted mine so that my background is black dark, so yours by default may be white or clear. So on the right hand side, to give you a little walkthrough of what you get, you have your watch list here, and notice how I'm scrolling down and you can see I have quite a bit of different symbols that I have and track, right? As you can see, if you're proficient, you can see that today was not an ideal day in the market, but you can add different symbols here, right? So if you like, I don't know, most of them I already have on here, but maybe you like, Google, so you can type in the symbol, right? Or you can even type in the name and you'll see, right, the ticker there. If you like Verizon, this telecommunication company, you can type it in, you'll see the symbol there, and once you press it, it will be added to your watch list there. You can drag it and kind of change the order if you want, right? You can also create your own watch list. This is my main one. You can call it whatever you want. So there's tremendous amount of features in TradingView. Over here on the top left hand side, you can determine what chart you want to see on screen. So not only can you select it right from your watch list and it will change as you saw, right? I can bring up Facebook. I can bring up, IBM, Twitter price chart, right? So there's a lot of flexibility and functionality here. What you can also do is type in the ticker or the symbol here, and I'm going to bring up Apple again. And here you have Apple's price chart again, right? At the bottom hand horizontal x-axis, you have the time, the range. We're always, for our purpose, looking at the daily chart, I would say majority of the time, right? So that D there signifies 1 day, right? Each candle, each bar is going to signify one trading day, and that's the range, that's the move of one trading day. The bars down here is the volume, all right? The light blue line that's going through it is the average. That's the volume moving average. It's a 20 period average, so it's tracking the moving average of the most recent 20 days, so on and so forth. As you can see, we have the chart of Apple here. On the right hand side, the vertical or the y-axis, we have the price. Okay, this is Apple, a US company, is listed on the US exchanges, so it's in US dollars. All right, you can see the price here, and it kind of has a significant sell-off over the past month. But we're not going to get into analyzing the stock. So I want to help you set up and get the basics onto your chart, right? If you have a free version of TradingView, you're going to be limited to maybe 2 or 3 indicators at once on screen. You're going to have to get the Pro or Pro Plus version. There are links, referral links that we have set up with TradingView, and there's some added benefits for that, where you get to try the Pro or Pro Plus package for 30 days, and if you renew, you'll not only get access to the full features plus no ads, but if you actually try the free trial, and in the last few days, you're going to get an offer to continue your membership, or I would say your subscription plan, at a massive 50%, 40 or 50% discount. All right, so I recommend you do that if you haven't. But continuing on, let's get some indicators on screen to help us sort of identify what's happening on charts. So we can click on the indicators tab here. I have some of my favorites already here. So I'm going to go ahead and put up, all right, I'm going to go ahead and put up the RSI. All right, I'm going to put up the moving average, okay, 2, and I'll explain why. All right, so here we have below the RSI, the relative strength index. I'm not going to get into the details of explaining how the indicator works, but essentially it signals extreme levels in the stock, right? So it's a contrarian or reversal indicator. So if you see the line get all the way up here, that means the stock may have gone up too much, too high, and it may be in for a pullback, right? Which kind of happens, of course, a little bit delayed. No indicator is perfect. So an RSI is one that we use. The team and I use. You can use this as well. Next, we have these 2 moving averages. I'm going to adjust this to the 50 length, all right, and then the style, I can change whatever color. In this case, I'll put this as yellow. Maybe I want to make the line a little bit more pronounced, as you can see. So there we have that. And then the second one, I'm going to, let's say, make it white, all right. Again, make it a little bit more bolded, and make this one 200, all right. So now I'm seeing the longer term moving average for the price, and these are rolling averages, right? That's why they're called moving. So I'm not going to get into the technical explanations of this, but this is a great resource to see certain areas, right? You can see the 200 moving average, right? 200-day moving average right here. You can see the stock price, Apple in this case, sort of respects this, right? And kind of uses that as a support level, right? So we have a lot of support and resistance that we also implement, along with some proprietary trading indicators. You may have seen that over here, right? But for the purpose of this tutorial, the 200 and the 50-day moving average along with the RSI is a great way to start and get your feet, all right? The volume is there as well for you. So these are the 3 indicators you can use. Even if you have a free version, at least you'll be able to get up and running, all right? At the bottom here, you're also seeing this E and D. So what is that? This is the earnings, right? So I would say every company has to, especially on the US markets, has to report earnings quarterly, and this is the report of Apple, right? Estimates for their earnings per share and actual earnings per share, and it tells you the surprise plus the date reported, right? And the period that it was for. The D, Apple gives a little bit of a dividend, so it pays a dividend every quarter, a little bit after their earnings release, and you can see it's 73 cents in this case. All right, 63 cents a little bit earlier, so we can tell that they've increased their dividends, all right, lately. So continuing on, we have the RSI, we have our indicators set up. I've told you this tremendous watch list that you can add and remove different stocks from. But when you bring up a chart, when you bring up a stock here, all right, notice how no matter what stock I bring up, the moving averages, the RSI will stay on here and adjust accordingly to the company that's on here, in this case, Intel. All right, so let's go back to Apple. You'll see here on Apple that once I select that, you'll see some information change over here. You can see where Apple is in the today's range, right? Where it traded today's range, right? You can also see the 52-week range, meaning the last 12 months of where Apple's lowest price was and the highest price was. And it's kind of give or take near the middle. All right, you have some technical, I would say, indicators there. More importantly, we have here some financial and fundamental data on Apple. I'm not going to go into the details, but this is a great area to get an idea of how large Apple is. Apple was recently a $1 trillion market cap, but after the big sell-off the past month, it's now lower than that. We can see how many employees they have. We can see the price to earnings ratio. We can see their dividends paid in total, their yield, meaning if you held Apple stock currently, that's how much you'd make just by holding it at 1.42% return, right? So there's a lot of stuff here. And below that, you have headlines for Apple and any relevant news to Apple, right? In this case, some iPhone jitters there, supplier issues there, and there's a lot of news that you can scroll back to, right? So on the left-hand side here, you have your drawing tools, right? So you can implement certain drawing tools, so you can draw support resistance levels if you wanted, a tremendous amount of capability and power in here in this platform, right? You can even use a brush tool to draw or highlight certain things, right? So I'll let you sort of tinker around with that. But that essentially is the breakdown and run through of setting up your TradingView platform, right? One thing I will say is at the bottom, you can determine and change the period you want to look at, so year to date, right? This is the price from year to date. You can go back 5 years. Notice how if you go back 5 years, it's going to automatically change the time frame to weekly, meaning now each bar signifies the price movement for 1 week, okay, so that it can give you a more further out view. Now notice how we're back in 2014, right? You can also zoom out, right? So I'll bring this back to a daily, all right? We're looking at the price going from 2015 to currently. We'll zoom in a bit, right? At the bottom here, one thing I want to also mention is the paper trading, right? If you press paper trading, you can activate it, and now you can place trades on paper. You'll get approximately 100,000 or 10,000. You can adjust this. By default is 100,000 to actually paper trade with, so that's fake money, right? You can practice. If you really want to place trades, you can right click, or you can buy or sell. You'll either go long or short trade. So you can buy Apple, right, or sell. You can enter that, and it will track your trades here and how much you're making or losing. It's a great way to come to grips with addressing price fluctuation and placing trades like you would in your brokerage account. Keep in mind, that's demo. This is all demo. It's practice. All right, so moving on. Next, here is finviz.com. This is a phenomenal resource, an amazing website, one that I and my team use all the time. And this gives you a plethora of information on what's happening in the financial markets. You have the major, I would say, indexes here. The S&P 500 is the one that we track and is our most, I would say, interested in. Again, you can also see some news and the futures pricing for certain commodities, crude oil, natural gas, gold, and futures for the indexes as well. In this case, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ. You also have some currency pair pricing as well. A heat map, right, of what occurred this day. You can see it's pretty red, again, to kind of give you the type of day we had in the market. Another thing you can do is click on news, and you'll have sort of like an RSS feed of different financial outlets: Reuters, Bloomberg, New York Times, Market Watch, CNBC, MSNBC, and you can kind of scroll down left hand side for the day. On the right hand side, you'll have different blogs, right? Financial blogs. Again, it's free to use. There are some ads. You can create an account, but it's a tremendous resource, right? You can definitely get yourself used to it. I'm not going to go into the nuts and bolts of it, but this is something that we use on a daily basis. Another resource you can use is Market Watch. Market Watch is great for financial news, right? Real-time financial news. You can search up different stocks, right? So let's bring up Apple, right? We can bring up Apple here, click on it, and see a tremendous amount of news, certain ratios, and pretty much everything you'd want, right? Analyst estimates, charts, everything you need you can get, right? You can even bring up in FinViz different stocks as well, right? So I really like doing this because it gives us a brief overview of the last 8 to 12 months price action for Apple in a very brief and concise chart. Plus, you got these financial ratios that can really help you understand Apple's fundamental financial picture, right? Different upgrades and downgrades for Apple from various different investment research companies, and then you have a repository of all the news that is relevant to Apple and its sector, right? So you can see it goes back, and then you have a brief overview of what Apple is as a company and certain trades that insiders like VP, the CFO, or CEO, whoever, the trades or the I would say selling or buying that they've done, right? So again, a great, tremendous amount of information on here. All right, so this video, hopefully it has been helpful for you, it's been insightful for you, hopefully it's something that is piqued your interest and kind of help you, I would say, smoothen out the process of getting started in what can be, I would say, quite the daunting and overwhelming prospect, but without a doubt, keep it locked in Elite membership. We will definitely be, I would say, adding resources and helping you out. So if you're not part of it, join us. Definitely look forward to seeing you in our chat room. And that's all for today. Take care.